This is my son, Charlie, and his girlfriend.
Hi.
So Jerry is our new neighbor.
Hey. Hey. Now listen to me. We graphed up all the disappearances. That's you right there in the center next to his house. I really hate to be the one to tell you this, but that guy, your neighbor,
Jerry.
yeah, he's a vampire.
That is a terrible vampire name, Jerry.
I was saying one of my favorite scenes in the movie is the scene when you're at the back door getting the
it was
beer,
fun.
and it was in that moment that I thought Jerry is just bored. Like he's bored with people.
The first one, hey.
You know, and I just thought
He's done a good few interviews. In the first one, he kind of, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, bored out of his brain. 400 years roaming the planet. You know, human beings are interesting and stuff, but I don't know if they can sustain your interest for that long. He's and he's just, you know, the thing about, you know, the pride doth go before the fall. He's just pushing the envelope. He just sees human beings. He's kind of disdainful of human beings. He understands the mechanisms and how they treat each other and what they do, but he finds them. He kind of finds them woefully inappropriate, and treats them kind of like, particularly, you know, Charlie, because there was a whole load of things that I was like, does that make sense logically? You know, he's getting on the motorbike, he chased them, he burns the house. He's probably drawing the National Guard are probably going to arrive, but it became down to that. It's like, well, he's really bored, and it's now about sport for him. You know, it's now about sport, and it's about thriving on other people's fear.
For you, in 20 or 30 years, if someone were going to remake one of your movies, which one would you like to see redone in 20 or 30 years?
That's a good question. I would, could I be in it?
Oh, absolutely.
You'll do the cameo.
I'd like to, seriously, I have such hang-ups about this. I'd like to do Alexandra and fucking Benjamin Button my face and give me another shot at it.
Hey, guy. You've been watching me. I've been watching you. Your mom, there's a kind of neglect. Gives off a scent. And your girl, she's ripe. It's on you to look out for them, because there are a lot of bad people out there, Charlie.
What's that?
I feel like with vampires over the last like 5 years, when you say the word vampire, everyone kind of like rolls their eyes, and you know, because of everything that's come out recently. But with this is kind of like the vampires that I grew up with, that I grew up loving. For you guys, what do you think are some of the mistakes that people have made with vampires over the last 5 years that maybe you wanted to correct, or things that maybe people are sick of?
One of the things this film tried to do, I suppose, was respect the many conventions that the cinema-going audience are aware of when it comes to the world of vampires, and also to create our own. And there's a lot of that stuff is actually addressed by the characters in the film. You know, there's a joke at Twilight's expense that Christopher Mintz-Plasse has, and then there's the scene between Anton's Charlie and David Tennant's Peter Vincent, where they're talking about what you're talking about, how to defeat a vampire, in a multitude of ways.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think mistakes at all. It was to that point. It's like, this is what I wanted to see. It's like, I love, you know, horror films when there's a really classic villain, you know, somebody that is truly scary but enjoys what they're doing and has this charisma about them, and that's what Marty Noxon wrote with this script, and that's what was really fun about it. Outside of the vampire mythology, it was just a classic, great villain to play for Colin.
Having played it, you would again. It was fun. It was a blast, man, to go to work and just be untethered, so to speak, by any form of human emotion or human thought, and the character was just designed so brutally, as opposed to the original, Chris Sarandon, who was so magnificent in the original, and I was a big fan of that film. I'm a big fan of that film and his work, but his vampires seemed to have a lot more kind of dignity. He was incredibly suave, he was something of an intellectual, and was in the search for his romantic counterpart. Well, this guy has kind of no time or interest in any of those things. If he has any human characteristic that kind of hangs over from the days when he was mortal, it's just his propensity for cruelty.
I'm gonna end him or he's gonna end me. That's how it's gonna be.
Charlie's gonna find me.
I'm counting on it. You smell that? It's your fear.